Welcome back to Was It Real? The Hills Rewatch podcast. I'm Brody Jenner here with my co-host Audrina Patridge, Heidi Montag-Pratt, and Frankie Delgado.
Yes,
Or
sir.
I should say Frankie Delgado.
How do you say that?
Never mind. Today we're breaking down season 2, episode 5, titled One Big Interruption.
In this episode, Heidi takes a break from Spencer, but finds herself missing him more than she'd like. And Lauren has to plan a Teen Vogue dinner, but takes a backseat to super-intern Emily from New York. And just to let you guys know, this episode aired on February 12th, 2007. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay, it opens up with Audrina popping by to see how I'm doing after the Spencer Playmate fiasco aftermath, which was really good timing and sweet. And then Lauren and Audrina both tell me, how much more proof do I need about Spencer, right? So during this conversation, it's really hard because what I can't say is I knew about the Playmates. I agreed with the Playmates, you know, I just went too far. So
Did Lauren know? Did you tell Lauren or
But
no?
did you know,
yeah,
did you know about the naked picnic?
No, so the naked picnic went a little far. I think once I heard the naked picnic, I was like, all right, you know,
I
let's
had
take
to. I
those
couldn't help
little
myself.
breaks, Playboy.
Did they ever film it?
Yeah,
so
I want to see the episode of the naked picnic.
Right. So I'm a little more sober in the morning, definitely hurting. I still feel that hangover. I'm like,
man.
Well, the
ugh.
morning is when it all hits and you're
Ooh.
processing the feelings and what really
Yeah.
happened. And yeah, is this real?
Right, exactly. So I think that I have like a little remorse. Like, shoot, I totally played myself last night. Like, I knew what Spencer was doing, and now like I want to be able to talk to him and have that conversation, but I am mad. And then like hearing that from you know, so it was a
the
lot of
naked
emotions
picnic.
going on for me, having to kind of like sort through it quickly and on camera and figuring out like, what do I want to do? So I think taking a break was a good idea. I think it was a good boundary that I put up just to kind of figure out where I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to
Am
do?
I coming on the naked
And what
picnic, or is he just going by
Right,
himself,
oh my
or is this,
God.
am I invited
So
to
how was the levels? But I do.
But you did really,
really
well with
like him.
expressing how you felt, what you wanted very clearly to him.
That cracked me
Yeah,
up.
I'm 20 years old doing this on camera. I'm like, you know what? That was good communication
That
skills.
was
Yeah, it was.
good. You
It
even
was.
called him on the spot with me and Lauren sitting there in that
That's right.
scene and called him out.
What up?
Hey, remember that day you arrived with Audrina area? We hooked up that night, right?
Obviously.
Okay, then you brought my roses to Audrina at Pinkberry?
I don't know. I'm saying obviously. I don't. Think,
We hooked up that night.
oh my God.
Right.
What? Those are my flowers. Or,
Yeah.
you know.
And then I hung up. So I was
A
like,
lot-
I got my answer.
A lot of my friends that have gotten married have had a pause. I think that's good. I think that's when you know you really miss the person and you really want to be with them. And I think that's why you kind of
like
realize.
like a brief separation kind of thing.
I did too. Like I had a 3-month pause or somewhere around there. And it helped because it helped her realize like, oh shit, I don't want to miss out on Frankie time. You know, like Frankie's, I love
Gives you
him.
a chance to
and for
miss
me,
the
it
other
was,
person.
I within a week, I was like, take me back.
I need my snickerdoodles, please. You make the best snickerdoodles ever.
By the way, I'm serious. Like
Does Jen make the best?
I mean, she does actually, right? Doesn't she make you
she
snickerdoodles?
makes me everything.
Is
Whatever.
that
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
cookies in
Yeah,
Doug's
the
room?
cookie, yeah,
or
the ones that Doug
Oh
licked,
my
or no,
God.
Frankie licked them.
That you licked
I was
up.
leaving town. I was going to Vegas because I used
That
to
was
have
the
a job
best.
in Vegas that I would go to, and I would leave for the weekend, and then I would
He would
anything I
hide
would.
the snickerdoodles. He'd
I
hide
would be the
them.
only one responsible to go to the market and bring like the OJ and the milk, water, and I would always buy snickerdoodles because I love snickerdoodles and Chips Ahoy. So I would have them there,
hiding in the cupboard.
hiding.
And Brody would
and I would
eat
hide them, and then they would
No,
always
Doug,
eat them.
We'd be
So then-
hungover, Doug and I.
So then one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video before I leave. I videotaped myself, and I was like, for you guys, when you guys eat my cookies,
Oh my
and
god.
I put them back in.
I've yet
my
to see this video.
gosh.
He
Oh my
claims he made a
gosh.
video
Oh my
because we
God.
took
They saw the
photos
video.
of us
They
eating
saw
them,
the
and Frankie's
video.
like, I licked every one of them, which I don't believe that you
they
licked
saw
it.
the video.
I don't think you
But
licked
wait,
it.
I literally
Oh my
left them on
gosh.
Friday, like afternoon, like at 5 o'clock. I remember this really clear. Like I left them there on the couch just like watching. What
Locked
were you guys
out.
watching? You guys were
I
watching
don't
some
even
show
know,
that like
some freaking motocross or something. I don't
something
know.
crazy. That,
Supercross.
Golf.
no, it was like
Golf, maybe.
it was like The Sopranos or something where like they were watching every episode. And I came back Sunday morning and
We
they were
hadn't left.
still in the same position in the same couch.
It was a big night the night before. I came back. We were there all weekend.
They never moved.
Snickerdoodles.
You sleep a lot when you're young.
And you
you
ate
know?
my snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
All right,
God.
back to this couch.
Anyway.
I needed some
There you go.
snickerdoodles here.
All right.
My bad.
So yeah, I'm so angry when I get off the phone with Spencer that I'm shaking because I felt like we were on the same page. And then I felt like he had told me everything. And we're like, all right, let's just get on the same page. And then when I heard that, I'm like, what else? Like, I thought that we got on the same page. I thought you divulged all the information. And then to feel like it was something else just felt like kind of another betrayal. So I was just really mad in the moment. Definitely still
And
had.
rightfully so. You're trying to you know,
Yeah.
figure it out and see what's really going on and if you could trust
Right.
him or trust me or like the whole situation.
Right. And knowing like, all right, well, what is for camera? What's not? So that line was just so blurry,
Yeah.
you know, and it was like, okay, well, are you just doing this on camera and then as an excuse flirting with them because that's what you're really wanting to do? And then you're playing me, you know? So I just kind of felt like that. And Whitney had told me from the beginning, she's like, he's going to break up with you on the season finale.
So that
Like,
was in
that's
the
his
back of your
plan.
mind.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's what I kept. And then Spencer's like, no, that was never
Yeah,
the
because
plan.
you didn't know
I was-
him that well yet. You
Right.
were
I
like,
didn't. But I had those feelings for him that were so big. And like we had been kind of on and off from the summer,
Right.
you know, and then we took a break,
Right.
but we weren't official ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then just trying to come back.
Navigate
so.
whether you wanted to be official with
Right,
him.
right.
So this is all like a little test of like,
Yeah,
hmm.
exactly. And then we cut to Teen Vogue over here. And Laura does not like the real intern that comes in.
So we need to go there at 3. Can I actually have those top 2 pages? Okay, thanks. So until then, we actually just need to get directions to Kevin's house, which apparently is sort of tricky to get to. So we need to print those out for everyone so that everyone knows where they're going. And also find out how to get to the florist, which is Velvet Garden.
Yeah, I mean, this intern.
She was so good.
Yeah, she's like the real intern.
She was a real intern.
She
That's
comes
exactly
in
why.
hot and just starts talking. And I don't even think Lauren in this scene gave her, like, she didn't even acknowledge her or look at her.
Right, yeah.
The girl just kept telling her what to do and like saying what's going on. And Lauren was like,
Lauren's like, it's my show. Hello?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Lauren Conrad.
I'm the star of the hill.
Totally. Excuse me.
You know that microphone you're wearing right now
Yeah.
underneath right here?
Totally.
Yeah,
I'm your
But-
boss.
Little
I'm your
respect,
boss,
honey.
sweetheart.
Heidi, you were saying though, Emily was like a real intern though. Like she was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Whitney was a real intern and Emily was a real intern. But
Whitney was a real
Lauren-
intern?
Yeah, Whitney really did
Yeah, I
the
think
job.
that's how because Whitney was, that's how they
That's how
found
they
Whitney.
met.
and she
They
really
just-
was
she was
at
in the
USC.
office already when they put her in there,
Yeah.
kind of like.
So
We're like,
she,
oh, this could
she
be
really
real.
she really has it on her resume.
Right,
you know,
right,
for
yeah.
sure.
Frankie looks really confused right
Lauren
now.
was the TV show
We've talked about this
intern.
before on the show.
You know,
Frankie.
like she did a lot of the jobs and like they did make her stay hours and she did way more than she even probably should have, but
Mhm.
she wasn't doing she's filming a show.
She was not
Right.
super intern like Emily.
Yeah, that's so
I mean, this
funny.
girl rolled in hot.
Be a good day. Bring it on. Show me what you got. Where there's a will, there's a way you can tip the scales. Your words of wisdom are in vain. Save it for another day.
So then we cut to the next scene where Spencer calls Heidi at Bolt House and tells her that it wasn't a big deal that he went to the club with the Playmates. He didn't hook up with any of them.
Yeah, she still claims. Right?
Brody, did
Brody,
he?
what's the
real scoop? What'd you
I don't
guys
think
do
he
after?
did. No,
Yeah,
I
that's what
think
he said. He
actually-
was like, I would tell you now. One thing
Yeah.
Spencer is
No, the
not
one, the naked picnic
is a
one I ended
liar.
up hanging out with, I think. The one with the naked picnic. I think that was, he liked that.
Who were the
that-
girls?
They were just friends. Like,
But you don't
friends
remember
that-
them?
We met them
Their
at the
names?
Playboy Mansion, like going to a Playboy Mansion party. Yeah, Shannon was one of them. Shannon
But were
and
they
something.
actually playmates or were they just
yeah,
playmates?
Shannon
groupies?
was. There was one of
Yeah.
them was an actual playmate, Shannon, and she was friends with Jade. That's actually how I met Jade was
Oh,
through
so Shannon.
You
That's
remember
right. Yeah, I
Shannon?
remember Shannon then.
Shannon.
Naked Picnic.
Yeah, so the Naked Picnic, exactly.
Oh.
Well, I later became
I
a
ended up going on
playmate
the Naked
myself.
Picnic, not Spencer.
So yeah, you did.
I was on the
Heidi.
Naked Picnic.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No,
and this,
no.
Like Heidi
You
basically.
were a playmate too?
Yeah, you
I
Oh,
was.
yeah. Wait, oh, that's right. Heidi was.
I'm one
yeah.
of the only
Heidi
people
was. Yeah,
that was on the
yeah.
cover that wasn't fully naked.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about
Yeah,
you. That.
just
That's totally.
mostly.
Wow, I remember that.
Yeah.
What
It
about
was
you?
very
They better pay
tastefully
you good.
done.
It
They
was
pay you?
Matthew Rolson.
do Playboy?
They did
No.
pay
They
me
did pay. That's
$500,000.
nothing. Oh, damn.
No, not Playboy.
I always get on Play. What is it? Playgirl all
You
day
were on
long.
Playgirl.
Yeah, like this.
Almost half
You were.
No, I was not on Playgirl, but for
Brody.
$500,000. Hell yeah.
Oh no, I think they offered me $500,000
get
to
me
come
on.
back
Holy
fully
OnlyFans
naked.
is out
I
there,
said,
bro.
Play
I
You
I mean,
could kill it on
I'm ready. Let's
OnlyFans.
go. It's
Yeah.
good, man.
But yeah,
Maybe.
so
I don't think
anyways,
Tia would be too stoked on
Spence
Just
that.
do the toe pics.
But,
And one thing-
no OnlyFans.
all right, back to Spencer. One thing that is true with Spencer too, and even then, like he's not a liar. He may be manipulating the scene. He may be doing certain things or whatever, but he really is not a liar. He's never lied about anything. So he's like, I would tell you the truth. But at this point, I just don't really know what is
Yeah.
going on. So I'm like, I don't know. It's all sketchy.
Right. It was
and-
very a lot of television. You couldn't tell what was real. Was he
Right.
being real about? What was he not? Was he just doing this for the show? Was there? Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, that was. But I needed that break, and I put that boundary down. I'm like, stop calling me.
Right.
Let me just figure this out. You, in my mind, I'm like, you went too far. We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Mary
from
thing.
it, but it-
we
Well, you
married
could
the
tell
Naked
you miss
Picnic.
him
Epic
and you really
TV.
love him, but you're just
Yeah.
like pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I don't know if my.
Have you and
skin is
Spencer
thick
ever
enough
done a
for
Naked
this.
Picnic? She had to think about that one. You see that? She really thought
Who
about
here
that.
has
I'm like,
done a
on the
naked
beach?
picnic?
I
Or-
don't think I ever have done a Naked Picnic.
Audrina for sure.
Audrina?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'll ask this on the confession corner.
Yeah,
I feel like that's more of like, a nudist colony
Or
type of
Depends
thing.
where you do a naked picnic.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I think
All
we
right.
just like to get to the
Sorry, my
point.
brain's in the gutter right now. Okay.
All right, so Emily arrives again, super intern.
Yeah, she's checking off her to-do list. And it's funny because when her and Lauren are driving in the car, or no, even in the office, she's telling Lauren to use MapQuest to like print out the driving directions to like the coffee
MapQuest.
shop.
I know that's what they.
Yeah, that's how long ago this was.
That
Wow.
crazy.
You had to
There was
print
no
them out.
maps.
Oh my
You had to
goodness.
print out just so for the
The
people
address
listening
you
that
can
are
get
that are millennials or whatever. This
Right.
is you actually had to
You'd
print
never
your
believe it.
directions out on a piece of paper before you got in the car. Can
That's
you
if you had
imagine
a
that?
printer.
Yeah, and you had to follow them. It was
Yeah.
it's-
So
it
she was
wild.
just suggesting Lauren to do that and kind of divide and conquer all the invites that they have to do. But
Back at Bolt House, Kristen's talking to me. Kristen was actually one of my best friends. She is one of the friends I wish I was still friends with. I think once that whole Lauren rift happened and I just was having a hard time with like the Hollywood friends and not like
K-Cap?
having them. No, this is Kristen.
the other Kristen.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
I know what you're talking
love
about.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
was always in my corner, one of my closest friends.
you could
so-
tell, yeah, she always had an eye out for you and had your back.
Yeah. So she reemphasized like that Spencer is a jerk. And, she had a relationship that I felt like she could even speak on it. Like she kind of knew and she kind of liked a jerk guy. And, so I knew where she was coming from was like a more tolerant, and she's a little bit older. So she had a better perspective.
Yeah.
So I always liked hearing from her.
Mhm.
But she was like, yeah, you can't come to my spot and bring the Playmates. And I was like, yeah, well, I told him he could, but still, totally, no, that's, I was over it once the scene had happened, but
Playmates.
I did agree. So,
And she also had to know, like, a lot of it being on a TV show, like, it's amped up a little bit.
right. And
So
that's really what Spencer was trying to do. He wanted to not
a
lose
show.
sight of his plan. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to make the show and I get it. It's pretty.
It
I
was good.
know.
It
It is
was
epic.
it was
It's good.
entertaining.
It was a good
I
episode.
was-
It
I
was
was-
good.
I was
It was a really good
entertained.
episode.
I
It's
was
very
entertained.
original. I'm like, who comes up with these lines?
I know,
Who are you?
his
Marry me, ask my
one-liners were-
sister and my mom. I'm like, oh my gosh.
His one-liners were
You are
impeccable.
epic.
So you're like, you said that. It's
He's
weird
so
I said to him
rewatching all
today,
this.
I was like, you used to give me a lot more compliments. Like every time you saw me, you said how beautiful I was and amazing. I was like, where's the wooing? Where can I have some more wooing at least? So it was a
Man.
good
Like
reminder.
two
I-
kids minutes later.
I told my wife yesterday, I'm like, I love you so. I told my baby first because I was leaving. I'm like, I love you so much. And then I said, I love you the most or something. She's like, uh-huh. And I'm like, really, dude? Can I get a I love you too and I can get out of here instead of a uh-huh? And I'm like,
I'm
little
guilty
wooing.
of that
I need a little
sometimes.
wooing
Yeah,
too.
you do.
Yeah, everyone needs wooing.
Yeah.
But I have done that to Spencer too. He's like, love you. I'm like, yeah. Or, well, you know, like sometimes if you know it's coming from a sassy
Well, it's a lot.
place.
Yeah, taking
Like, you're just saying that.
being the mom, yeah. With HelloFresh, you can get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit.
I love how easy the recipes are on HelloFresh, not to mention healthy. And with a new baby at home, I just need something simple, fresh, and delicious to feed the family.
Tia and I are really enjoying the fast and fresh recipes. It's HelloFresh's latest line of meals that are ready in 15 minutes or less. We made the falafel power bowls last night and they were bomb.
HelloFresh is here to help you eat better by delivering fresh ingredients and easy recipes right to your door, taking the hassle out of dinner time. Choose calorie smart and carb smart recipes or even customize select meals by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading your proteins, or adding proteins to a veggie dish. Go to HelloFresh.com/thehills60 and use code thehills60 for 60% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/thehills60 and use code thehills60 for 60% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. When you look at your hair, are you 100% happy? I mean, for years, I've tried every product under the sun, hoping that each one would improve my hair and health and help me achieve the hair goals that I've been wanting. I mean, especially when you have hot irons and curling irons in it. So this has been great for me with everything that it has to offer. So thanks to Vegamore, not only am I finally seeing my results, but I'm finally getting my hair that I've always wanted.
Yes, Vegamore has transformed my hair. This is like their holistic approach to hair health, and they use smart botanicals that promote visibly thicker, fuller, longer looking hair. And all their products are cruelty-free and never contain parabens or hormones.
Which is everything to me. So Vegamore has something for everyone looking to improve their hair. The Grow Revitalization Shampoo and Conditioner Kit works together to create visibly thicker hair and improves the hair from the roots. I mean, just massage that shampoo into your scalp for about 60 seconds. Then you follow up with the conditioner. And really, it's just that simple.
Yeah. The Grow Revitalizing Shampoo and Conditioner Kit it's actually a part of my routine now. And I just love that it makes my scalp feel so clean and my hair looks refreshed. And no joke, it looks like I just walked out of a salon every day because it's so shiny.
It does. It looks incredible. Get the hair you've always wanted with Vegamore. Go to vegamore.com/hills. Use code HILLS to save 20% on your first order.
That's vegamor.com/hills. Code HILLS to save 20% at vegamore.com/hills. So the next scene, Lauren is en route to the Velvet Garden with Emily, and Emily knows everything about flowers. So they're going to choose all of these like fancy flowers for the dinner. And Lauren just doesn't understand why do we need all these details for the dinner? It's just a dinner. But did Lauren talk off camera about her experience with Emily at all?
To be honest, I had so much going on. I think Emily was like the last thing I was, really listening to. But I don't think she really cared. I think she got it like, look, the super intern's coming in. She's showing me up on my show. She's the real intern, So I think she was just annoyed with the situation. But I don't remember it being like her really.
No, you could tell she was annoyed.
Too much.
Did you meet her?
Annoyed. No.
Did you meet her?
No. Maybe if she comes back later on. I don't remember.
I don't think so. She
was
wasn't
her and
memorable
Whitney.
in my
Not me.
past recollections. Anyways, that evening, Lauren, Jen, and I all go out to dinner. I love seeing Jen Benny on camera. It's like definitely one of my favorite things ever. At Luna Park. That place was so good. And I'm talking about how much I'm loving being single right now. And then a few seconds later, I check my phone. I'm like, stop texting me. And I explained to Lauren and Jen that Spencer keeps texting me and leaving me messages like, please don't dump me. And Jen threatens to toss my phone into her mojito, which was very funny. And then Lauren is like, he's not a good guy.
He was like,
what
I
did he
just wonder
say?
what's the deal, blah, blah, blah. Like,
And he's sitting there, it's like, you tell me that you haven't had the best time with me. And I'm like, what, are you gonna freaking cry about it? Like, get over it.
hey, hello, we don't even want to talk about him. This is so ruining the night.
He's not a good guy.
And then the looks.
Yeah,
and
and
they
then
had
the
the
looks.
looks. I
Brody,
could
did
see,
you
like-
ever talk to Spencer about his feelings about me at this time?
I mean, yeah, we talked about, at this time for sure. I think in the beginning, Spencer was sort of, coming in to stir the pot. And that's when he was doing the whole, like, I'm going to give a rose to this and that. And then you could see that the more you guys were hanging out, the more he just started to really like fall in love with you. And when you guys started to really be on the same page about the show and what, kind of the direction you guys wanted to go and your guys' storyline, I think it just like, and you were so on board. I think you guys just sort of became this unit that, Spencer was, if I did talk to him about it, I was like, hard things. He would always talk very highly of you, say how much he liked you, while trying to keep he was trying to still like, play he'd be his Spencer, but you could just see him slowly just falling in love with you more and more every day. And then the rest is history, So we talked about it. He was trying to hold on to Mr. Single Pratt, but he just couldn't.
Well, that's what happened in the summer the first time. And that's why we stopped hanging out, because he wanted to
Right,
be like
exactly.
single Spencer. And he was like, I don't want a girlfriend. And he wanted to be that guy, but he really like had feelings for me and like didn't want to admit it. And that's why I was like, I'm not playing this game with you. And then we took that break. But I appreciated you saying in the condo, like, if you are going to be with anyone, it should be Heidi. And I was
For
like,
sure.
thanks,
Yeah.
Brody. I
For
appreciate
sure.
it.
No, you guys were great together. It was great to watch. And he's, it was Spencer loving you for sure. You could see right from the beginning.
From the outside looking in, it was always like you guys, whether you were or not together, like it was like you guys were a couple to everybody
Yeah.
else.
Well, because Heidi, if you look at Heidi too, the first season, like Heidi was so good. In my opinion, she was the standout cast member out of all of them. She was good at being on screen, and Spencer is the same way. So together, it was just like you guys were
are
made
partners
for
in
that
crime.
show, and it was just like, oh my god, this is a
great.
match made in heaven. It's
But
great.
Heidi, at this point, did you feel like you could be honest with your friends about your feelings for Spencer at this point? Or did you feel like you kind of had to stop if you're going to go back to him or whatnot? Like you felt like they were going to judge you or,
I was really honest with my friends, and I'm just a transparent person. I'm going to say what's on my mind and not like filter it. So I was really honest with everybody. And then sometimes the problem with being so honest with everyone is they like hold it against you. So it's like, no, well, I was feeling that way, and then this happened and it changed, and people don't necessarily like understand. So I appreciated them like having my back, and they knew I felt that way, and they were like trying to support me. So at this point, I felt like all my friends were on the same page as me and just being supportive. And I didn't know that second wind of Lauren changing how she felt towards me was coming, So this is, it's kind of a sad part for me watching this, because this was the last time that Lauren and I were friends. This is the last time like we were good and everything was normal, and we did
you
have
could
such
see
a good
your
relationship
in these episodes slowly falling apart with Lauren. It was just like,
Mhm.
and then Spencer has he had the fight yet?
No.
The argument? With
That's in the next
same-
episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
not this one.
like the falling
it-
out in the apartment and then
Yeah,
When
and
they
Lauren
went to the
was really,
club and then
she's really
yeah.
mad that I told Spencer that she won't be in a room with him. But it's like, I have to tell him that because they won't be in a room. So what am I going to do?
Right.
If she just walks out, he's going to know. Like, you just laid down the law and you just made it that way. I never said that about Jason. I was never like, I'm not going to be in a room with Jason. That's not.
Lauren could have
wouldn't have
handled that
said that.
situation,
I
I
know.
feel like, a little bit differently to smooth it out with. I mean, it was great for the show to have that riff, the riff
Yeah.
between them. But at the same time, I think Lauren could have approached the situation a little differently and things might have been different.
yeah,
I wonder if
for
she
sure.
watched the show again and watch the episodes and see, like, when you're seeing yourself on screen, you might see something like you're like, oh man.
She actually put out a quote. I don't know. I could Google it, but it was like, watching it in retrospect, I could have handled things differently, or
Right.
like I was a little into my friend's relationship or something like that. So I think she has thought that sense, and she just had so much trauma from her
Right.
relationship, or maybe
Rejection or
right,
something. Maybe.
right. So I think, and maybe it's not trauma. Maybe that's just my perspective of it. But from an outside perspective and being so close to her, I think she just had a lot going on with that relationship she just had, and it was still in that
For
mentally,
sure.
and then projecting.
she was
that
still
in.
healing
Also,
from
you
it.
guys were really young.
Yeah.
One, to on TV, like becoming very famous, and your relationships are on display. So everyone at every red carpet, everything. Hey, so how's Jason? Or have you talked to Jason? How's Heidi? Like
Yeah.
nonstop. So it never really kind of was.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. And also, like, it's her show. This is the first season. It wasn't like, and it's only season 2, but it wasn't her full storyline. Like, even season 1 was more of us and her storyline. So that switch was big for her, too, to like start feeling that and feeling like Spencer's coming in and taking her show.
Yeah.
So that was a whole nother layer that was happening. And she wasn't liking that.
For
Like,
sure.
he's using you. And she wanted to say, he's using us. Like, this is our show. We don't need him coming in
For sure.
and doing this. So that was a big
But she could have
adjustment
went
for
about
her.
it so differently, like took him in, had a real conversation, and like all of been
Right.
friends
I mean,
or figured
gone
it
to
out
lunch with him
together.
even.
We're
like
in our
sat down.
we're in our 30s and 40s, and
I
that's
know.
They could have handled this
I don't
situation so
think- I-
differently.
I don't
Not
think
in our
she
20s,
would.
dude.
Immature little
In our
True.
20s, I was so immature and I was doing
I
the
know.
dumbest
I
things. And
know.
even me and Brody would get into these fights, and it was like we were so immature. Like how we handle things now is like we'll go sit down and have lunch. Like
Because
didn't
the
we have
hills
lunch at-
taught us how to confront our feelings.
feelings.
Right. Well, look
They
at you
forced
guys
us. It
now.
was therapeutic.
Hold on, Brody. The camera angle's not there yet. Hold on. Can we talk now?
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of Lauren, the next day she drops by Whitney's house because Whitney had, I don't know, her wisdom teeth removed or something. And so Whitney was on the mend. But she was going to go to dinner that night to help Lauren. So she hasn't met Emily yet. So they were talking about her. Yeah, that's just kind of thrown
What a
in there
random
randomly.
character.
Right?
Yeah, I
Like
think.
like she came for one episode and she was gone.
And then they cut back to Heidi at Bolt House
Mhm.
when Elodie pulls you aside. And she was like pretty intense, like protective over you too.
Yeah, I think at first Elodie and I used to be like more friendly, and then
She wanted to get on the show, too.
Yeah, of
That
course
was
she
what it
did.
was.
Of course she did, and then she definitely had a turn. But anyways, I do say like how much I miss Spencer, and I don't want to miss Spencer this much. At this point, I'm like, it's easy to just cut my losses. It's easy to it's way easier for me to not go back with Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
None of my friends want me to be with him. I still have this show. I still have the storyline. Like that was the point where I was either going to be with him completely or like done. So, it was a lot for me to navigate so
Thank
quickly.
God you were. Look at this. Got kids
know.
now. Look at this.
I
My
know.
God.
I know. It's the best decision ever.
Yeah,
But it was a
seriously.
lot. I chose the hard path.
Right.
And I didn't know where that would go.
But you
and-
followed your heart and you had to do what you wanted to do, not what everyone around you wanted to do. And sometimes that's a lesson to be learned, and that's your life.
Yep.
Right.
And
And that's
your
what I thought
decision.
too. I'm like, you know what? I need to find this out for myself. Like, if I feel this way that I've never felt about anyone, and I really do love Spencer, and I feel like it's this like soul deeper connection that no one
Yeah.
sees, and at first Lauren was supportive of that, and my
She
friends
was.
were, and so it just, I think went.
Well,
too
now you
much,
have no
but
what ifs or wonders in that
Exactly.
department.
yeah. And I
Seemed
did
like it was the right choice.
right. And actually, if I didn't get drunk at a lunch and call Spencer later during this week, I don't know if we'd still be together. I'm like, thank God I went over in the day and I got drunk
butterfly
and I came
effect.
over.
It's so many of those moments for you where like if
Yeah.
you don't go to
Colorado.
or if
Right.
you
It
don't
would've
call them,
changed everything.
It changes
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like that
Your
butterfly
path.
effect,
Yep.
like
The
you guys said.
butterfly
But
effect.
the butterfly.
Well, then we
effect.
It is
cut
true.
back to this dinner, the Teen Vogue dinner, and they set the table with all these flowers, and Lauren remarks about Emily's centerpiece flowers, but is ignored by Emily until Lisa gets there. And then Lisa said that there were too many flowers. So I think
So Lauren was right.
Lauren was right.
I
She
saw that
smirked
little
and she's
look.
like,
She's
ha ha ha.
I got this little intern.
Yeah.
Bitch.
And then Lisa basically says Emily's staying there to eat, but Whitney and Lauren need to leave. So that
Probably
was
because
kind of
she's like,
ouch.
Emily is the real intern.
Lauren
You
was
guys
like,
can go
"Bitch."
home up with your
Lauren
cameras.
was like, bitch, I'm the one on MTV.
yeah,
See you later.
totally.
Well, Lauren's like,
Lauren's like,
well,
I had to go to the
Enjoy
club
your
anyways.
dinner. I go to the
Well,
club.
towards the end too,
totally,
she's like, well,
bye.
enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, I think she's
Yeah, enjoy your
done.
dinner. I'm going to go get paid and go to the club.
Yeah.
And then I emerged from the Hillside Villa lobby and at my strapless black dress.
How many takes did you have to do of that walk? I remember they used to like make us walk down that same entryway to get out of the hillside villas in dresses and heels. And it's like, my feet, I can't do it again.
I know, totally. I'm like, this is it. My first time was so good.
But you had a good strut.
So many, thank you. So what happened before this is that lunch, you know, when I literally off camera by myself, because I really was going through it. And I was like, I got drunk and I just was like, F it, I'm calling him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went over to his house and we made up and that was it. And so we had that conversation. I was like, if we're going to
How'd you guys make up?
do this with a naked picnic.
Another naked picnic?
With a naked picnic?
Yeah.
Did he take you to a naked picnic when you drove off in the
Yeah,
in the
I think
BMW?
that was
That's a
it.
great way to end this episode, though, with you and him back together driving off. Like,
And I don't know the timeline necessarily because it was so condensed. Like this is between September and October or November, right? So September is when my birthday was, but they it's not as mixed matched, but some of the things are. You
Yeah.
For
know?
everybody
so like,
listening, every episode's not filmed in the same week. Like they film every episode throughout the entire 6 months,
right.
it's a year at
and
that
they
point.
can put pieces from
Yeah.
6 months later, and just to make
pickup scenes and all that
they
stuff.
call them the
Right.
pickup scenes.
Right.
To make it
And then just
flow.
randomly edit together. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. So that was what really happened. And then I had that conversation with him and I was so mad. And I was like, I can't believe you did that to me. And he was like, I told you, like, when did you? And you could see that when he like called me and I hung up or whatever, when he was like, we were on the same page or whatever, like what changed.
Right.
And I think just actually going through that and seeing that when I thought we were was just,
Well, I think
a
you
lot.
realized too that you were up for that game, but then it's like, I really actually like this guy. And if he's
Yeah.
going to be flirting with other girls, I don't think I'm down for that.
I don't like this game anymore.
You're mine.
This game is not fun anymore.
We should have had your hubby here for that episode to interview him about the naked picnic.
I think we need to
I
get him
know.
on the next episode.
I think we need to. I
We
keep
gotta-
inviting him.
Oh,
I've
the
invited him
next one
every
is
episode.
Well, guess what?
juicy.
Yeah.
Hey, Spencer, there's
You know, we
Nobu's
have-
across the street,
I was
so if
just
you want
about
to
to
come have
say,
Nobu
yeah,
with
yeah,
us.
Because this is when
That's how you get him.
Gotta
the
get him in
next
here.
episode is so good. You guys, you have to watch it. But this is whenever Spencer and Lauren have a confrontation at the club.
Oh yeah, it gets good.
And then you and Lauren have a talk. Like, this is where
Yeah.
it changes everything.
Yeah.
Well,
And it was really hard having them both be like, all right, I don't like that person. I don't like that person.
Yeah,
It's like,
what about
the-
how
What about me?
What about you?
Yeah, like,
Like-
aren't you both on my team? And instead of like
You're
splitting
trying to
it,
please.
it was
That wasn't fair.
It was really hard. But I literally would be home, you know, 3, 4, 5 nights of the week. And I was only going to Spencer's a few because she already had such a problem with it. And she had just cut me out from her relationship. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. And so I made such an effort to like always check in with her and this and that. But it just was never enough.
She just,
you know?
her partner in crime, you were with in a relationship. You liked someone, and she probably just missed the dynamic of you being together and doing whatever you wanted and not having to,
Right.
you know.
She's like, we're single. I'm like,
I'm not.
you're not.
yeah, I'm not sure what's happening.
Gosh. Well, Frankie,
Oh god.
In your corner.
Time
Let's
for
do
your
this
confession.
confession corner. Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll do it again.
you're so good at it.
Well, no,
Okay.
it's just like you guys won't answer the question. I keep asking, so we'll
I
have
think
to.
we answered them.
You guys like answer it around, like you're like around the bush. You know, you guys don't really like get to the answer. But this one's gonna go for
Beating around the bush at the picnic.
at the picnic,
The naked picnic.
the naked picnic around the bush.
Beating around the bush at the naked picnic.
Boys.
Anyway.
No. This is girls. This is a girls show. So, when there was this one goes for the three of you, I guess. When there was like those fights, how would you guys handle these fights? Like you're filming, right? And there was some times when you and let's just say Justin Bobby were about to get into it, or you and the girls got into it. There's a camera there, and do you like go and resolve it after behind the scenes of the camera? Like, how would you explain that to piece it out at the end? Like, because it's hard. Like you're like in the moment, and like sometimes like some people want to get that camera action and they want to get your reaction, and
feel like you don't talk after because you know there's going to be a scene about it the next day.
Or save
I'm
it for the
trying-
cameras. They would always tell us
I
to
just got
save
into
it.
that mentality of just say it all being entertainment value, like save it for the cameras. Or I know when Kristen and I got into it, well, one of our fights that was like set up. But we got into it, and then after we were like, okay, that's done. Let's get out of here. I don't know. It just depends.
You guys really got into it though.
on the rooftop.
On the rooftop in the premiere. I didn't even see that
That
coming.
was the first episode.
That was
Yeah, I was
Stephanie. She made that. She was going back and forth to me and Kristen, telling me one thing, Kristen, and it got both of us like worked up. And I went up to Kristen to be like, what are you doing? Because Kristen and I were hanging out prior. Because when Justin and I were together, she was dating one of Justin's friends with Nick and everyone. So we'd all hang out. So I was like, what are you doing? So that was real.
that was real.
but yeah,
That was really real.
we didn't
That
talk
was at
after
the top
that.
of the
I was like,
London
what is
Hotel, right? We were
happening?
filming at London Hotel.
Yeah, that was, I think that scene, that's way
Wasn't that
later.
Kristen's like first
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 episode.
episode
that she came
film?
back.
Yeah.
Well, no,
and it
she
was
came
my
back for her wedding.
birthday.
Oh, right.
For her wedding was like the ending, and then she came back as like the main
Yeah,
character.
and that was her first But that was my birthday on that rooftop. But then in the editing, they made it like Heidi, you and Spencer. It was like something you guys put together. I forget. Because when I saw it, I was like, wait,
So that's always that.
so it's not my birthday anymore.
They're like, no one will film with them. Let's
Well, I
make
think
it
it
their
would have made
storyline.
Kristen look bad, like us getting in a fight at my
Oh,
birthday and what was said and everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, this one goes to Brody. Have
Yes.
another one.
Let's hear it.
Now that we know you're gonna have a girl, you have a
Mhm.
baby little girl,
Mhm.
how scared are you?
I'm actually thrilled. I'm not
No?
scared at all. No, I don't think scared would be the right emotion. I would say that I really had no preference, boy or girl. I was like either one's great. Healthy is all I really care about. Having a girl, I think, is going to be a lot easier in the early years. I think maybe later on when they're 15, 16, I'm going to be a different
I was
situation than the
terrified.
boys. But no, I'm really excited to have. And, we're planning on having more kids too. So it's having a daughter
Yay.
be the first one. I think even if we do have boys later on, to have an older big sister is such an important thing for men, for young men to grow up with an older sister and have that sort of influence. I think that's really important. So we're actually thrilled that we're having a girl.
You know, Gunnar cried at your gender reveal.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's so cute.
No, he
Oh,
said
wow.
it's
Love that.
not a boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, he did.
I think the
Oh,
wrestlers were a
boy.
little
That's
intense
so
for him.
funny,
And so
right.
I think he just had that emotion.
That's funny.
Because before he was like so team boy. We got him like all into the gender reveal and he had his sign and he wore the blue. And I think he just felt like he was wrong in the
Aw.
game or something. And he was
That's
like,
funny. I wanted
no.
a boy.
Well, he's going to be your little girl's little bodyguard
Yeah,
growing up.
Yeah, I know. He's tough.
And you have Eva, you know,
Eva.
so that's
no, we're
nice.
thrilled. Yeah,
That's
we're
awesome,
thrilled to
dude.
start out with a girl. So
We're all really happy for you.
Yeah,
and,
thanks,
and,
brother.
and,
Thank you.
the only
Crazy,
advice I
crazy
give you,
times.
man, is like cherish every little second because one
because
day,
you had a girl for your first.
yeah,
child, too,
and
same thing.
but I was not as like I was in shock.
Right.
I thought I was getting a boy for sure,
Right.
and having the girl, you
It's
know,
great.
it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. It changed my entire heart. Like my heart melted as soon as I touched her,
Right.
and ever since that day. But you have to like really. I think that the key here is that every moment, when she's 2-3 years old and her cheeks are like, and then she starts becoming a little
Chubby, right.
lady,
It
and
goes
she
by
starts
so
getting
fast.
Yeah, she starts like
I know it goes by quick.
she's now
Just
8
cherish
years
it.
old, and
Yep.
she's like
She's like a little woman.
yeah, and she's hey, bruh.
Kira called
Oh
me
my
bro the
God,
other day.
that's
I was
wild.
like, where's this bro talk?
And then she
coming
goes,
from?
yes, queen, to Jen. Like
Oh
she'll be
my
like,
gosh.
clean up your mess. Yes, queen. Like
Oh
to
my
Jen. And I'm
God,
like,
that's
dude,
cute.
who are you now? Like, she's like a
Yeah.
little lady
Grow up so
now.
fast.
Oh,
Gosh.
Yeah, we're thrilled.
yeah, man, we're happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for listening. Please follow, rate, and review The Hills Rewatch wherever you listen to your podcast. If you'd like to watch us, check it out on YouTube. As always, you can leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/thehills, or you can send in your questions to thehills@castmedia.com. That's cast with a K. So 5-star reviews, please. See you next week.
5 stars.
ya.
See you later.
Stars.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. Be sure to start with the pilot episode and catch all of our episode recaps.